Jaylen Brown just sent a loud and undeniable reminder to an audience that keeps growing, and right now, you need to pay attention. This was not just another strong performance. This was a statement delivered at the exact moment Boston needed it most. Before we break it all down, make sure you hit subscribe to the channel and press the hype, because what just happened could change how this season is viewed. Let's get straight to it. The Boston Celtics walked into one of their toughest matchups of the year against the Oklahoma City Thunder, facing the reigning MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. This was not a night for excuses. No fully recovered Jason Tatum, key absences in the rotation, and a team coming off a frustrating loss. This was pressure, real pressure, and Jaylen Brown answered like a player who understands exactly what is at stake. 31 points, 8 assists, 8 rebounds. But numbers do not fully capture what happened floor. Brown matched every run, every shot, every moment of intensity brought by Gilgeous-Alexander, who still delivered 33 points and 8 assists on elite efficiency. This was not about one player having a bad night. This was about Brown refusing to let his team fall. And here is where it gets more serious. This performance was not isolated. It is part of a pattern that has been building all season. When Boston needs control, when the game tightened, when the margin for error disappeared, Jaylen Brown has been the one stepping forward. That matters, especially now, with the playoffs approaching and expectations rising. There has been resistance to placing Brown in the MVP conversation. Criticism, doubt, hesitation. But after a win like this, against a fully healthy contender, that argument starts to lose strength. Boston did not survive this game by accident. They survived because Brown met the highest level and did not blink. Now, the urgency increases. If he can deliver like this against the best, in the most demanding situations, what exactly is stopping him from forcing his way into that MVP race for real? And more importantly, if this version of Jaylen Brown continues to show up, are we watching the moment where the entire league is about to be forced to change its narrative? Joe Mazzulla did not hesitate after the game. In a night defined by pressure and expectation, he chose to highlight something that many might overlook at first glance: the impact of 2 rookies in one of the most important wins of the season. And that detail changes how we should be looking at the Boston Celtics right now. Boston's 119-109 win over the Oklahoma City Thunder on Wednesday night did more than end a 12-game winning streak. It exposed depth, discipline, and something even more valuable at this stage of the season: trust in young players. Hugo Gonzalez and Baylor Shireman were not just filling minutes, they were executing under real pressure. Mazzulla pointed directly at their energy, their defensive versatility, and their ability to stay composed in meaningful possessions. This was not garbage time production. This was contribution in a high-level game against a fully competitive opponent. And when you combine that with performances from Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, the picture becomes clearer. Boston is not relying on stars alone. Now here is where the urgency. This was the second meeting between these teams in 2 weeks, both at full strength. That context mattered. It means adjustments were made, expectations were higher, and still, the rookies delivered. That is not common, especially this late in the season. Mazzulla's words were not casual. They signal growing confidence and possibly a shift in how these rotations will look heading into the playoffs. Depth wins series, execution wins games late, and Boston is starting to show both at the same time. So now, the question becomes unavoidable. If these rookies are already earning trust in games like, how much bigger will their role become when the playoffs arrive? And could they be the difference between a deep run and a missed opportunity? A strong prediction is starting to gain attention around the league, and it is coming from someone who understands exactly what a championship team looks like. DeMarcus Cousins, a 4-time All-Star, is openly backing the Boston Celtics to reach the 2026 NBA Finals, and he is not stopping there. He believes this team can win it all. This comes right after Boston's statement win over the Oklahoma City Thunder, a 119-109 result that ended a 12-game winning streak. That game was not just another regular season win. It showed control, resilience, and execution against one of the hottest teams in the league. And for Cousins, that was enough to reinforce what he already believed. He pointed directly at the core led by Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, emphasizing that no team in the Eastern Conference can truly match up with them in a 7-game series. That is a strong statement, especially with the playoffs getting closer and pressure increasing across the league. Now add another layer to this. Tatum is still working his way back from injury, and even then, he is already impacting games. In that same win, he delivered 19 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists, showing efficiency and better decision. According to Brown, this is only the beginning of his return to full form. That matters because a healthier Tatum changes the ceiling of this team completely. Cousins went even further. He said that even a reduced version of Tatum could be enough for Boston to make a deep run. That speaks to the structure, chemistry, and experience built under Joe Mazzulla. This is not just about talent. It is about a group that knows how to win. And now the urgency rises. With odds placing Boston among the top contenders, and with a possible finals matchup against Oklahoma City already being discussed, the margin for error is shrinking. The signs are there, the confidence is growing, and the expectations are becoming impossible to ignore. So here is the real question. If the Celtics are already proving they can beat elite teams, and if their best player is still not at 100%, what happens when everything finally clicks at the right time? There is one issue starting to gain urgency around the Boston Celtics, and it is not being talked about enough. This team looks complete, deep, and ready for a title run, but there is a structural problem that could surface at the worst possible moment. The Celtics do not have a truly switchable center, and that changes everything in the playoffs. On paper, the season has been a success. Joe Mazzulla has extracted production from every level of the roster. Neemias Queta has stepped up as a reliable starter, Luka Garza has provided strong minutes, and Nikola Vucevic added experience and scoring. The front court, once a concern, became stable. But stability is not the same as versatility. And in the playoffs, versatility decides series. Here is the concern. Boston's defensive system is becoming predictable. Drop coverage works in the regular season, and Queta executes it well. But elite playoff guards will target it relentlessly. Players who can pull up quickly, control pace, and read space will force the defense into difficult decisions. In past seasons, Boston could adjust. They could switch, blitz, change angles. That flexibility came from players like Al Horford. That option is no longer available. Now think about matchup. Teams built around high-level ball handlers will test this weakness over and over. Without a big who can step out, switch, and contain, the Celtics may be forced into uncomfortable adjustment. Going small with Jason Tatum at center is possible, but risky, especially considering his recent return from injury. Boston will try to get creative. They will hide centers, rotate wings, and mix coverages. But smart teams will identify patterns. And in a 7-game series, patterns get exposed. And this is where the urgency peaks. The Celtics have the talent to win the title, no question. But championships are often decided by one weakness that cannot be solved in time. If Boston runs into the wrong matchup, this issue will not just appear, it will be attacked every possession. So here is the question that cannot be ignored. Can the Celtics survive the playoffs without a versatile center? Or is this the one flaw that could quietly end a championship run? If you made it this far, hit like, subscribe, and press the hype button because this conversation is only getting started.